Hey, what's up everyone? So I got a little bit more here to show you on the straight razor roll project. What I'm working on now is a final design, and I'm just kind of using this as a template because it's not going to be this material. It's actually going to be this material. But this is my template. I'm kind of testing out the final measurements and a couple different things. So what I've done here is starting the bias tape, and I'm going to run a border all the way around the whole thing. I wasn't going to do that initially, but now I think I'm going to. And then we'll set this up to come down here. Just got to put a couple little clips in here so I can hold this in its place. So what I'm doing differently is I'm using it's going to be one continuous piece of bias tape around the whole thing. I'll give it a nice, much nicer, cleaner look. All right, I'm just going to speed things up a little bit, do some editing, see if we can move this along a little bit quicker. This can be a little bit of a tricky one, working with this material. So now we got to come out 45 degrees to this edge. Fold the bias tape, fold it back over itself. To create that nice square edge right there. I'll throw a clip in that. So here I'm just continuing this bias tape down along this edge. All right, now we're at this corner. We're going to do the same thing. Sew it out to the corner. That one's a little shorter. That's okay. That'll work. And we're just going to continue on here down these edges and around the corner until we meet up with the starting point of the bias tape. All right, we got the tape on all the way. So now what we do is we just let this fold. I'll fold this over and show you what you end up with here. All right, here I'm just folding up all these corners and I'm getting ready to sew the final stitch around the bias tape. So that's essentially what you got here. See that? It's much cleaner. It's a much cleaner look. I got messed up some stitching here, but that's fine. Like I said, this was a test one. Had a little bobbin issue right there. But that's what you're gonna get when you're finished. Look at something like this. So I'm gonna sew this together. So now what I'm going to want to do here is sew as close to this edge as I can, because the whole idea here is to hide stitching that you used to apply the bias tape. So you want to get as close as you can to the edge here. I'm probably going to have to adjust this as I go. And this is the final stitch around the border of the piece. This is just putting the final stitch on the bias tape. All right. Just trim off some of these extra strings, this extra thread. All right. Looks pretty good. To get a little off. Swerve just a hair over here, but essentially that's what you got. See, it comes all the way around, one continuous piece. And now what I'll do is just sew the pockets. All right, sew in our pockets. Now those white lines that you see there, those are drawn with a chalk pencil. That's just giving me a guide. All right, there we go. That's what you're looking at here. Bias tape, one piece of bias tape all the way around, nice and clean. Pockets here, for your razors. And then, yes, I am going to attach. So this will roll up, and there will be There will be an attachment on this side. I'm thinking what I'm going to do here is there'll be 2 pieces of material, maybe a suede or some fabric of some sort, something thicker, and then they'll just wrap it up and then just tie it. Simple overhand knot to shut it. I'm not going to get crazy and do anything wild like belt buckles or anything like that. Just something nice and simple. All right, guys, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and when I have some updates on the actual ones that I'm going to be making with the other material, I will come back and show you what's going on. All right, take care.